4 or
I
5.
do
Hey,
have a
everybody.
little list of Christmas movies that I want to talk about
We can
too.
talk about some Chris. We're live right now. This is a surprise. This is for me as well as everyone else. If you guys want to share it on your Facebook pages. I will do the same. We decided to have a little episode because we missed each other so much. Um, I'm Ray, if you didn't know. With me tonight is Jared Laterno. And
Hello.
here we go. Say hi. And Seth T. Miller. Not just Seth Miller, Seth T. Miller.
Hello.
And that T stands for Thaddeus.
Tyrone.
Is it Tyrone? I
No,
can honestly. You told me once, but I don't quite remember. I feel bad that I don't remember what your middle name is. But do you know what my middle name is?
Skywalker.
No, no, that's my last name. I'm Ray Skywalker. We're going to talk about a few things. The brackets, the last of the brackets for 2020. After I think we've done 15 or so. Where Seth wants to talk about the news of the possible Exorcist sequel, direct sequel. So they're skipping over 2 sequels already. Again, leave it to David Gordon Green. Jared has some Christmas movies he wants to talk about, which there are a lot of good Christmas horror films. And Seth finally saw The Beyond. He's diving in headfirst to watching Italian horror. Why don't you tell us your experience with The Beyond and how great it is?
Well, my experience was a little rough at first. I found it on demand, and it was through some new streaming thing I never heard of. And it had probably good 5 to 10 minutes worth of commercials pretty early on, and I couldn't skip past them. And I couldn't even pause it to go outside for a smoke. I went out for a smoke. When the movie came back on, I paused it, went out for a smoke, came back, sat on the remote, and it went back. And I had to start the movie all over again.
Shit.
But yeah, that was quite the movie. Very, I don't know, definitely like a body horror type of movie. There's a couple of moments that really made me cringe.
Like what?
The stuff with the eyes. I don't know. There's something about those. There's something about those scenes, and even like the guy that fell in the library or whatever, and that acid poured on him. That was pretty intense too. But
the guy who was talking to was actually Lucio Fulci.
Oh, was it?
The guy who was talking about lunch.
Yep.
Yeah, that he's talking about labor laws and lunch and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's Fulci.
Yeah. And then I totally saw like when we did our Void episode, I think one of you guys mentioned that The Beyond was an influence. I definitely saw that with the I definitely saw that with the end. Like it was kind of cool. I enjoyed it.
It's good. Italian horror is not for everybody. It took me a little bit to get into it, but here I am.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where I don't know if I'll like be able to rewatch it again anytime soon, but I definitely want to check out the other ones. So
yeah, but now it's on your list. The list of movies you've seen.
That's right.
I think you should have a running list like me. I think everybody should have a running list just to know what you've seen. Because there's a lot of horror out there, and there's like, have I seen that one? Oh, let me look at the list. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
So, me and Jared both love that movie unconditionally. Well, I know I do. I'm pretty sure Jared does. I can't speak for Jared.
I love it.
I know you do. It's different. I mean, you're gonna get a little bit of the same if you watch City of Living Dead, which I absolutely 100% suggest. Because it goes, I go back and forth between that and The Beyond as my favorite Italian horror.
Is that the second one?
That's the first one.
That's the first one.
If you want to they don't really connect per se, but so you don't really have to watch them in any order. They're just the Gates of Hell trilogy because they have to do with the Gates of Hell opening. You know,
Now,
like,
is
I would
is
also
it?
consider zombie in there too, but most people don't.
Yeah, I have Zombie. I've seen that one.
Nice.
It's the same actress in all
Yeah,
three of them, right?
Katarina
Yeah,
McCall. Yeah, she's in
yeah.
all three of them. I think her name. She's credited differently in each movie too.
Is she?
I think so. I think her like spelling of her name or her first name is a little bit different. I'm not 100. Jared, you might know. Yeah.
Pretty sure it's Katarina McCall each time, but it might be spelled a little differently.
Well, I think one of them is Catherine McCall, and the way McCall spells differently. It's weird. I noticed it one between two of the movies. I think it was House by the Cemetery and City of the Living Dead. I can't remember offhand. Hey, we've got some people watching. Edward Delgado telling us he loves Italian horror, love the bright red blood. Yes. What's your favorite Italian horror movie? That's the question. Spanish horror, we got some good ones too. I saw one just the other day. It was okay. It was weird. It was labeled as a Spanish horror movie, but I don't know if it really was. And now I'm losing. It's the corruption of Chris Miller or something like that. Have you seen that one, Jared?
Hmm.
It's on Shutter. Um, yeah, that's something you're gonna have to get used to. Eye gouges and things with the eyes. Um, that happens. But yeah, I'm curious to see what you think about giallo horror, Italian horror. It's a lot different. They're more like slashers, more like mysteries. You definitely need to hop on Shutter because right now they have Holly Jolly going on. Um, yeah,
Got it.
we talk a big game about being done for a bit, but then here we are. So, uh, but there's I just said I haven't been watching horror, but I forgot I watched movies like The Red Queen Kills Seven Times. I watched uh, what is it? I can't think of the name of the title. What did they do to Solange, or what happened to what is
What
it?
happened to Solange?
Yeah, that one was great. But Black Belly of the Tarantula is one of my favorites now. There's a lot of good. Those are giallos, and I really like giallo. Um, and Nathan's making fun of it.
Best Jello horror is Smucker's Party Massacre.
Yeah, Fulci and Bob. Well, Bob is my favorite. Check out if you get a chance. Black Sabbath, or my personal favorite from Baba is Twitch of the Death Nerve, which is also called The Bay of Blood. Jared, give him some extras.
One of the good things about Italian horror is they filmed predominantly in Technicolor. That's why the blood always seems extra red. There are so many good movies out there. For those that have not seen What Have You Done to Solange, there's actually two other movies after that. They call it a trilogy.
Mm.
And
Well, I'm gonna have to watch those now.
IMDb's taking too long, but there are actually two other movies that are in. It's if you've seen What You Have Done to Solange, it has to deal with teenagers and
Mm.
extracurricular activities that teenagers do. But one of my favorite giallos that people don't talk about too much. God, I am totally fucking flaking right now.
Did you ever see A Blade in the Dark?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen that one.
It's from '83. It's excellent. Seth, my I would just say get on Shutter and indulge yourself. Lock yourself in a room by
Yeah, you've
yourself so
been.
nobody else knows what you're doing because
Yeah, you've been telling me that for a while. I do have to get Shutter. I will
man,
eventually.
Shutter's where it's at, and they, like I said, they have excuse me, tons of Italian horror, and I think it's good for the soul. Plus, I think you should make a running list like I do every year of what you watch. I don't know why I like making lists. I'm a big fan of lists, but it's great to see. Have I watched that this year? Oh yeah, I watched it on January 23rd. That was that's I've been doing that for 2 years now, and I'm going to keep doing it, especially to see the difference in how many movies I watched. Like I watched over 530 last year. This year it's at like one. I just looked. Hold on. 187. So, but we had to watch. I was specific movies for the show, so that changed everything. Instead of me just watching a bunch of random bullshit like I did last year.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm glad you took the chance. And opera is fantastic. Is it the Four Flies on
Gray Velvet.
Grey Velvet? Is it that one? Is that the one you're talking about?
There was actually another Argento one. The Bird with the Crystal Plumage was the one I was thinking of.
Yep. See, here we go. Seth, come on, Shudder. Don't come on it. Just
what was the previous comment?
A Blade in the Dark is correct. Which one? We're getting a lot here.
2 before that.
How about this one here? 7 Bloody Orchids. You seen that one? Beth Giallo's A Case of Bloody Iris, Strange Vice of Mrs. Worth. That was on Shudder, but I think they recently took that down in The Blade in the Dark. Black Sabbath is all about ambience and atmosphere. It's a good one. What have you done to Solange? Let's see. There's a lot of comments here. I love opera. Come on, Shudder. I have it. I own Bruno Nicolai's soundtrack for Bloody Iris, Case of Bloody Irish, on vinyl. And Edwidge Finnick, Spanish, best looking woman ever to live. That's one of the things about Italian horror I like is, especially Black Belly of the Tarantula, I think. Or no. God, what's the other one I just watched that I really liked? 1 second. I got to look it up. This is the other reason. If you forget a title, you can look it up. The Night Evelyn Came Out of the Grave. Oh my God. That movie was awesome. Have you ever seen that one, Jared?
No, that doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah, it was. Well, first of all, that and The Red Queen Kills 7 Times, neither one of them are dubbed. So you have to, it's all subtitles, which I thought was good. Yeah, he's all about the titles. He says
Sergio Martini's "Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key."
Yep, that's a good one too.
That was one of the ones I was flaking on.
Yeah,
too.
that goes along with what Nate. Oh, you know what you need to watch is A Cat o' Nine Tails. That's another good one. Or what's that? Don't Torture a Duckling. There's so many. There's just so many. I have a list.
A Lizard in Woman's Skin.
A Lizard in Woman. Yeah. Jared, a lot of these we've covered on the HorrorSyndicate.com. If anybody wants to check those out, Jared covered most of them. He even has a top 10 Fulci list, which I disagree with. I'm working on currently my top 50 Italian horror movies, period. I've only seen 57 total, but I can do a top 50. So I'm going to, spoiler alert, number 50 is Zombie 3. It's not good stuff.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
It's not good. That movie's not good. Nathan's done a few Blu-ray covers. What have you done to your daughters? And Torso. You did a Torso cover? I need to see that.
What Have You Done to Your Daughters is actually the second one of the What Have You Done to Solange trilogy.
What's the third one called?
God damn it. I knew you would say that.
Well, what's weird about Giallos is many times a lot of them actors are speaking different languages. Some French, some English, some Italian. So I liked. It was nice watching Italian horror and having subtitles rather than listening to. That's because sometimes that's, I don't know how you felt, Seth, about The Beyond and like Catherine McCall, however you want to say her name. She is English. She's British, I believe. So, but they still dubbed her. But she also, her scream, I don't know if it's her dubbing herself.
Yep.
What?
So it's called the Schoolgirls in Peril trilogy. What Have You Done to Solange? What Have They Done to Your Daughters is the second one. And then the third one is called Enigma Rosso.
Oh. Don't Torture Duckling has the best ending ever. Don't Torture yeah, so that's one definitely. It's on Shudder. I want to see it though. I love Torso. Oh yeah. Here, homework for the Christmas break. Watch Demons and Demons 2. If you've not seen those are fantastic. You got a lot of Italian cinema's finest coming together: Argento, Lamberto Bava, and others. I can't remember who else, but they came together to make Demons, and Demons is great. Pretty much takes place in a movie theater, and then Demons 2 takes place in like a high-rise apartment complex, and it's so love it. I love it. Jared does too. Actually, Brian from THS Lives, Demons is one of his favorite movies of all time, I believe. We are getting a lot of comments coming in. It's all because of Italian horror. See, Italian horror makes the world go round. Gotcha. Except Bob. Wait till you get to House by the Cemetery and have to deal with Bob. Bob is in a Blade in Darkness.
Fucking Bob.
He's also in Demons. It was customary in Italian film. Actor spit the actual Mickey Knox. Natural Born Killer is his name. I did not know that. Nate has all kinds of trivia. Nate will be back with us in less than a month, right? Yes, Goblin. And you recognize the name Goblin, Seth, don't you, the band?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Nate, who is not an Italian horror fan, says Demons is awesome, Seth. Maybe we'll have to do a whole episode on Demons.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good stuff about those.
Good makeup, good effects, man. There's a girl who gets her boob cut because she spills a coke, and they're snorting coke out of a Coke can with a straw. How genius is that? Yeah, Bob. Yeah, Bob is at the beginning of a Blade in the Dark. You're a female. You're a female. That's what he's saying in that movie. Yep. See, Emily's on top of it. Oh, I like Emily. Thank you for joining us. I hope you like the page. I hope you're subscribed to the YouTube. We've got 600 subscribers, I think. Yay. All right. So anything else we want to say about Italian horror before we move on? I'm trying not to say Italian horror like Joe Bob, because apparently Italian people don't like that. Italians would hire American actors overseas and often filmed in Spain. Yeah, like I think that's that Corruption of Chris Miller movie was just filmed in Spain, but they were all English speaking people. And one beautiful woman, I can't remember what her name was though, in that movie.
Oh, Emily has a slasher movie podcast.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, leave us what that is in the comments, and I'll subscribe to it for sure. All about is it on YouTube or anyway? We're gonna switch gears, and Seth wants to talk a little bit about the Exorcist, potential Exorcist sequel that could be going down.
Yeah.
Hold on. Her podcast is called "Gag Me with a Knife." I love that. It's fantastic. That's wonderful. Go ahead.
I just figured it would be something that we could all just talk about. There wasn't really much information released on it, but The Exorcist getting a sequel from David Gordon Green. I'm okay with it to a certain degree because I would rather have a sequel than like a remake. But I know Ray, you're
another prequel.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty consistent series too, so there'd be like no need to ignore any of the sequels. Really, I mean, maybe two a little bit, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
First of all, have we seen the Turkish version of The Exorcist called Satan? I have not even heard of it. So there is a sequel to The Exorcist. It's called The Heretic, and I love it. And then there's also Legion or Exorcist 3, which I don't think either should be skipped over. That bothers me. There's also a sequel series that Fox put out just a couple of years ago. I'm not on board. I don't think I like David Gordon Green. This is just the Halloween treatment again. And we talked about how much this pisses me off when they skip over sequels just to fit their story into it.
Well, I mean, it hasn't really been confirmed though that they're going to skip over the sequels. I mean, it's more.
It's implied. If I see David Gordon Green's name in there, knowing that they did that with Halloween, it's implied to me.
Yeah,
So,
but I mean, I kind of understand why they did it with Halloween, just because
they had nowhere else to go. I get it, but they could have rebooted Halloween.
Right. The continuity of the franchise was sort of like all over the place, and instead of just trying to cherry pick here and there, or even try to have the task of of trying to connect them all together, they just found a way to just move forward. But I don't know, like I don't really see the need for that with The Exorcist, because the continuity is still there in of all the sequels. Like it's a fine franchise. There's no need to skip over any.
No, it doesn't even need to follow Reagan. Could it just follow another case? I mean, there's
exactly.
other options. Yeah, I don't. I hope that's what I hope is that it's a similar case, and they just kind of mention what happened, the events of the original Exorcist. Not, I don't want it to be Linda Blair coming, but because that's why they did Halloween. They're like, okay, let's make another Halloween movie, but let's bring Jamie Lee Curtis back because we need to do that bullshit because that'll put butts in the seats. I mean, come on. That's where I am on Halloween. I've gone way off the deep end on the Halloween series over the past few months to where I think I'm getting to the point where I hate this new stuff. And I'm tired of sequel skipping. Next thing I know, Star Wars is going to skip over episodes 7, 8, and 9 and give us something completely different. And that's going to piss me off too, even though I don't like the sequels all that much. I'm tired of it. It feels lazy. It's just, let's just do something else. Like this Edward Delgado says, Pazuzu in space. Let's do it. There's no reason why they can't do a different person. If they bring Linda Blair back, I'm not even gonna care. I won't give two shits about the movie.
I'm with you on that one, because there's no need to bring her back. They can just do a different story, different characters.
Yeah.
They can like you said, they can reference what happened in the first movie. They can make tiny little nods to 1 and 3, especially. But there's no need to bring her back. There's no need to make it a direct sequel to that movie. Yeah.
I haven't watched Repossessed in years. That's the best sequel to The Exorcist, in my opinion. Another talks in space. My friend Brett just sent me a message. What did Jay-Z call his wife before they got married? Fiance, instead of Beyonce. He's the master of the dad joke. He does that every time to try to get a reaction from me whenever we do the shows. So needs a hard R, not this PG-13 crap. I don't know if that even matters. But needs to be a standalone film with mentioning the first, but an uncredited Linda cameo as a nun or something. Maybe. I mean, that's a decent idea, I guess. I'm just over this new bullshit that they're doing, where they're being lazy and let's skip over all these other movies. It's like Halloween. They probably could have just made another remake and it would probably been fine. But instead, they had to do that shit, which is really starting to bother me, as I said before. And I'm probably alone in that. I'm speaking my mind from now on instead of pussyfooting around. So that's all I've been doing is pussyfooting around. I'm not doing that shit anymore.
Fucking do it, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just me personally, I prefer sequels over remakes. So that's where I'm kind of fine with.
You know what? I would have been fine if they would have left Halloween alone. And the same thing with The Exorcist. But again, The Exorcist Heretic is still there. The Exorcist TV show is still there. So I mean, even if they make a remake or a sequel or whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't have to watch it.
Right. Wasn't Linda Blair in the TV show?
I don't know.
No,
I didn't watch it.
Gina Davis played Reagan.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why I'm getting confused. Okay.
Yeah. It was she was like a witness protection agent. Not really witness protection, but she had changed her name and everything like that. And and by the end of the season, you find out she's Reagan because it's happening to her daughter. It's actually an interesting show, but I don't know. My son won't see it because he thinks The Exorcist is the most boring movie of all time. Hey, there we go. Somebody's with me. Thank you. Nobody ever sees my side. Tell us how you feel. I am. I'm going to tell how I feel from now on because I do kind of bite my tongue a lot for other people, and I'm not going to do that shit anymore. Well, yeah, Linda Blair. I didn't think she was on the show.
I got confused with. I heard that Reagan was in the show.
Yeah, Reagan. Definitely. The show's totally worth watching, though. I think it's definitely worth watching if you can find it somehow. Jared, you didn't watch any of the show?
The Exorcist?
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch it. I refused.
Got another person agreeing with me. No more sequel hopping. Getting old. So in other news, they're making another Return of the Living Dead, and they're skipping over all the sequels. No. I'm just kind of curious to see what I guess I'll be like the Exorcist 2. I want to talk about that for a quick sec. The Heretic. People hate that movie, and I can see why, but I also don't understand why. It's the sequel to the scariest movie of all time. Like, what else could they have done? That's my question. It's like you're trying to follow up one of the best movies, horror movies of all time, even though the people who made it didn't think of it as a horror movie. Jesus.
Exorcist.
He's got all the jokes tonight. Can't be on the show, but he's got all the jokes tonight. Yeah, it was all, as far as I know, The Heretic was completely new content. I like it. It's batshit crazy. And that's part of the thing I like about it. And there's weird scenes with Linda Blair's Reagan, and I guess they felt they needed to bring her back and have shoehorn a exorcism isn't in it. James Earl Jones dresses up as a fucking cicada or something at some point. I love it, man. It's a crazy movie, but I don't think people appreciate the fact that how big of it's like, what if Empire Strikes Back was okay? People will call it a piece of shit. Like, obviously Empire is probably the best of the Star Wars movies, but I mean, you're following up the biggest movie of all time. George just went bigger. They went bigger and better. In The Exorcist, there's no way they could have gotten better. Unless they did the same thing again, which I hate to say makes me look awful. But we went to the drive-in to see The Exorcist again. What works still works, but some of the dialogue is meh. Yeah. I like The Exorcist. You see? I'm not wrong. It's the tall order to follow up The Exorcist. And whenever this sequel or whatever comes out, people are going to do the same thing to it. It's not as good as the original because they're going to hold it up to the original. And
oh yeah.
It's just, why even bother? David Gordon Green, get off Halloween, get off The Exorcist, make your own fucking thing.
It makes me wonder what the status is of the Hellraiser series because he was attached to direct some episodes of the Hellraiser TV series that they announced a while back.
I don't like that idea of Hellraiser TV series at all. I also don't like the idea of him doing any more horror. Go back to dumb comedy movies. Are they remaking Toxic Avenger? I thought that's been in the works for a while.
Yeah. They got what's his name? Peter Dinklage.
I haven't watched it since I was 10. Before we move on from The Exorcist, what about the prequels, The Beginning and Dominion? What do you guys think of those?
I've seen The Beginning. I haven't seen Dominion yet.
I've seen them both.
I like Dominion better.
That was the thing. The same
Paul
thing.
Schrader movie.
They felt like the same movie, but with Dominion, they tweaked it a little bit.
Like when you get your nipples tweaked?
Not in a good way, but they literally felt like the same movie.
I don't think I've seen Leap of Faith unless isn't that the movie with Eddie Murphy who plays G? Or is that something else? That's Holy Man. Anyway. I don't like The Evil Dead Part 2. Whoa, because I was 8 and didn't understand. So you don't like Evil Dead 2 still?
Well, I think she was treading on what I said, where it felt like the exact same movie, just redone.
Yeah. Oh man, Rob Zombie. So I'm watching the History of Horror on Shudder right now, and Rob Zombie's talking, and he compares his movie House of Thousand Corpses to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I'm like, thank you for saying that out loud, because I've been thinking that for 17 or how many ever years since I've seen that movie. And then I thought again, I'm like, why didn't you remake that instead of Halloween? Anyway. That's okay. It's not blasphemy. You like what you like.
Intruder's a good movie, though.
Yeah, I just bought Intruder recently at Vintage Stock for like $6, man. I haven't seen it. Rob Zombie is a hack job. I'd rather Marilyn Manson make a movie.
Ooh.
I'm definitely tuning into this podcast because you have some interesting ideas thoughts, I guess, in your. I like that. Yeah, Marilyn Manson's videos are all creepy. Did you watch that, Nate? The documentary, the whatever I just said it was called, History of Horror. I'm on episode 4. I think I'm gonna watch it tonight. Even though I just told Seth off air, I'm like, I'm just fucking tired of horror, and I'm sitting here talking about all this Italian horror that I've watched and History of Horror while I was wrapping presents last night. Yeah. Rob Zombie dropped his wife from his films. They would be better, right or wrong? Probably right.
I would say they'd be a little bit better.
Yeah.
At least.
To me, that doesn't really fix the problem. The problem is his dialogue.
Yeah, that's true. I do like Lords of Salem quite a bit, and I liked her in Lords of Salem, so I guess it's a case-by-case basis. Intruder was great. I have to watch. I still bought it, but I still haven't watched it. Lords of Salem would have been a true classic. I think it's up there, but wrong. Rob Zombie sucks. All right. So, in another thing that we're going to talk about is what time did we start doing this? Oh, I got to take her. Never mind. We're at half an hour.
About 30 minutes in.
Alex has jumped in. Hey, how you doing, man? Eli Roth is overrated. Yeah, I think he might be. Sherry is his muse. Yeah, that doesn't mean it's a good thing. What was I saying? Eli Roth. Oh, Eli Roth is overrated. Yeah, he's only made like a couple movies, right? And like Cabin Fever, which I saw at the theater and regretted buying tickets for it. Then what's another one? Green Inferno, which is okay.
I thought it was a good homage to the cannibal.
Definitely a love letter to the Cannibal Holocaust.
It wasn't terrible, but it was still
one more.
Hostel 1 and 2.
Yeah, the Hostel movies. He's okay. I mean, I don't think he's terrible. I actually like listening to him talk sometimes. I mean, one of the stories he told on, I think it was on the Cabin Fever commentary. Because I ended up buying the movie because I didn't appreciate it when I saw it. I was like, maybe I'll like it if I watch it on DVD and listen to the commentary. Listen to the commentary, and he told the story about the first time he saw Raiders of the Lost Ark. And the face melt scene at the end, he got up in the middle of the theater, walked over to the edge, and started throwing up. It made him throw up. Raiders of the Lost Ark, of all things. I think that's funny. Back to Sherry Moon. I think her over-the-top acting was perfect in House, but yes. I don't know. Honestly, I don't mind her all that much. She doesn't bother me, really. Eli Roth is overrated, and as far as Green Inferno but you should have made a Thanksgiving movie.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
And for those that don't know what he's talking about, it was one of the trailers during the Grindhouse double feature.
History Horror is pretty good, I think. It was on AMC. It's now on Shudder. Not saying that everything is good. I think it's the sounding when his fans basically tell him his wife sucks. Yeah, I don't think I'd take that very, very nicely if everybody told me my wife sucked.
Yeah.
not going to put her out there, but he's still going to do it anyway. So he's going to do whatever he's going to do. Just like me, I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do. I got a $21 gift card here I found today, and I'm going to buy some stuff with it. Star Wars figures, probably. So anyway, I definitely suggest checking out the History of Horror. It's the season 1 and season 2, both on Shudder right now. And the body horror episode's excellent because they talk about society. And have you guys seen Society?
Oh yes.
No,
No,
you got to play catch up.
I know.
Society is one of the most fucked up movies I've ever seen.
Brian Yesna. Holy moly.
Holy shit. Screaming Mad George, he went off his fucking rocker with some effects in that movie. It's weird as fuck. Especially the shunt. Just remember that word. Don't you love the hunt and the smell of the shunt? Isn't that what it is? Something like that? Yeah. Maybe Eli Roth wants to blow Tarantino. I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, we've been doing brackets all year. We do them all throughout the year, and this year we did them by decade, starting with the 2010s, and the winner of that decade was Evil Dead from 2013, which I like. Then the 2000s was Trick or Treat, which is gaining popularity by the year. Everybody thinks Sam's cute, and he is, and it's a good anthology. In the 90s, we got hacked by an Evil Dead group, and Army of Darkness won out in the 90s, which I don't think deserved to win, and I'm going to stand by that. I think Candyman's probably the best in the 90s, or Scream. No, you're not trolling. It's just you have an opinion. You're voicing your opinion. Don't worry about it. In the 80s, Evil Dead 2 won again. We got a lot of Evil Dead voters coming from an Evil Dead group. I don't think Evil Dead 2 is the best movie of the 1980s. I think it's A Nightmare on Elm Street. Am I wrong? What do you guys think is the best horror movie of the 1980s?
The Thing.
The Thing. Ah, that was not in the bracket though.
But I think we retired it because it's
We
one.
retired it because it's won more than once. In the 70s, I believe it was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that won. The 1960s was Night of the Living Dead. And I think it came down to Night of the Living Dead and Psycho. Both worthy of winning. And then the 50s was Creature from the Black Lagoon, if I'm not mistaken. And then the 40s just wrapped up, and it was The Wolfman. And now the 30s, we're down to Frankenstein and Dracula, both from 1931, both from Universal. So the question is, which one are you guys going to vote for? Dracula or Frankenstein? Nate's with me. A Nightmare on Elm Street, best movie of the 1980s. Edward Delgado says The Thing. We'll just have to do another bracket. I think Dawn of the Dead and Texas Chainsaw went head to head in that bracket. The 80s Sleepaway Camp, definitely a slasher fan. So what do you think? Dracula? My vote's going to Dracula. Nate says Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's such a toss-up. Oh, Emily, what do you think?
She says neither.
If you had to have an opinion.
She says Sleepaway Camp. Definitely the winner
From the 30s? Okay.
Yeah.
Sleepaway Camp wins all decades.
Dracula is more it's more quotable, but I mean how Freaks actually lost to The Invisible Man.
Freaks is good.
But how do you beat It's Alive? You know, they're both very quotable in my opinion. I personally prefer Bride over Frankenstein. You can't beat Dr. Pretorius, in my opinion. But then again, I also would put Son ahead of Bride, in my opinion. Anyway, Dracula for me.
That is really tough because the final act of Frankenstein is like way up there, you know, versus the final act of Dracula. But like the ambiance of Dracula all the way through, for me, it wins overall. I still feel you, Emily. It's a good movie.
Someone said that Dracula is basically a stage play, and it kind of is, but I still love it. Can't help it.
Invisible Man is also great. Nate said that. Like
Yeah, it is.
Claude Rains is fucking amazing in that
Invisible
movie.
Man lost to Dracula today, so it's not in the finals. The final two are Dracula and Frankenstein. Seth, quit being silent and tell me which one you pick.
Man, that's a tough one because I love them both. I would say, I don't know, Frankenstein is better directed, but I have a soft spot for Dracula. That was like my go-to as a kid. And I've seen that movie so many times.
Who has the creepier smile? Frankenstein's monster or Dracula?
The monster.
Probably the monster.
Okay.
Especially with the girl by the water.
Yeah. Yep.
I agree. Anything well directed.
Young Frankenstein is good, okay? It's a really good movie. Not from the 30s.
Ah!
I think when you put up the matchup, I'm just gonna hit the thumbs up button.
Don't you dare. You'll get booted from the horror. I'll just ban you. Like, fucking banned. But you can still come on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, Nate brings up Renfield, but the thing is, Dwight Fry has great performances in both movies.
Yes.
Renfield and Fritz. I mean, that's a toss up to me. And you got both of them are iconic monsters with Dracula and Frankenstein's monster. But Clive, I almost said Clive Owen. Colin Clive, his performance is fucking out of control in that movie. But then you got Edward Van Sloan. I mean, there's so many Dracula is the one. If I was going to watch a freaking Universal movie, it's usually Dracula. So that's how I'm voting. You can't do that, Seth, because it's Wolfman for you, without a doubt.
Right.
So,
Oh, did we have a 20s bracket?
no, there's like
Where's the Nosferatu love? Come on.
There's no love for Nosferatu. That movie's boring. What's Nate say here? It's weird. He's in a lot of those movies, Universal movies, in different roles, which is kind of strange. My first exposure to all of these was Abbott and Costello. See, back in the old days, in the 90s, the better time, in my opinion.
The old days.
What was the channel? TMC was the channel. No, they were doing. My mom introduced me to Dracula films through Hammer. I've mentioned that numerous times. She was a big Hammer person because that's what she kind of grew up with. I guess they were on TV or something when she was growing up. Anyway, I saw the Horror of Dracula and the Prince of Darkness and Taste the Blood of Dracula, all that good stuff. But then I think 93, 94, somewhere around there on Halloween night, they were showing all these Universal horror movies leading up to Dracula. And so Dracula was the main event. You had The Mummy, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, and then Dracula. I think The Wolfman was in there somewhere too. But it was all leading up to Dracula. It made me feel like Dracula was the crown jewel of the Universal series. And I think it is, honestly. It made it look like a stage play or whatever, but it's, in my opinion, it's a great ass movie. Great ass movie. That sounds so funky. Okay. Dracula is hotter. Okay, that's true. I've never seen Our Gang, and Jared just loves Nosferatu, like with a passion. I mean, there. If there's anything I can do for the 20s, there's probably 4 movies: The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, Nosferatu. What else?
Phantom of the Opera
Phantom of the Opera. Yeah,
The original one. Yeah.
There's the Golem. Is that from the 20s? I think.
And there's that Haxan movie.
Yeah, so I don't think it's not worth doing a bracket for. We're stopping at the 30s, and also I'm tired of making brackets. So, it's a tall task, believe me. Alex Ross says he loves Nosferatu. Paxson, Nate. Uh, what's funny is Todd Browning could do anything because of Dracula. And Freaks ruined him, really?
No, I do not agree.
I have no idea. I've seen Freaks, but
The Freaks was really good.
It's a great movie. I wonder if I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, but maybe he got some backlash for, um, you know, doing a movie about sideshow freaks and stuff like that, like back then, like kind of like exploiting them type of deal.
Mm. I got nothing.
yeah, I don't know either. I don't know the history on that. Our history buff isn't here. People were still offended by Freaks. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see that one until 2 or 3 years ago. He got blacklisted for that shit. That's a shame. It's now it's kind of almost a landmark movie, you know.
Times were different back then.
True. Times are different now too. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, you didn't answer. Frankenstein or Dracula? Come on. Dracula.
That's tough. I probably will go with Dracula because of my, I don't know.
Well, the matchup is scheduled for I think 10 o'clock, 11 Eastern time. So we'll probably only get like 100 votes because nobody's been voting. Not as many people have been voting on the 30s and the 40s brackets, which is fine.
Just say Dracula.
Yeah.
Just say it.
Yeah, Bela Lugosi was buried in his Dracula suit. Gangsta. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you have to expect that though. Like every when you do it blocked off by decades, you're gonna get less and less votes the older you get, I think.
Hey, do you guys think you can handle this for a minute? I gotta go use the bathroom.
You gotta go number 1 or number 2. I'm just trying to figure out how much time we got.
I gotta poop, okay? I'll be back in a few minutes.
It's a Horror Syndicate exclusive.
Yeah, I ate dinner and there was some chili involved, and I gotta go get rid of this shit. The comments will not be popping up on the screen until I get back.
So we can't ask them questions.
Is overrated. I'm leaving you with that. Yep, I want that. Yeah.
So we can't ask them questions because they won't pop up. Sweet. Okay. All right. So we had a conversation earlier, Seth, about like Christmas movies. We got Christmas coming up in the next couple of days, guys. So hold your Christmas comments until Ray can come back and we can read them. You said you've only seen a couple of Christmas-related movies.
Christmas-related horror.
Yeah. Specify horror. I'm sure one of them was the new Black Christmas that just came out, right?
No, I've seen 74 and 06. I have no interest in this new one at all.
Ditto.
I really like the 74 movie, and I do get a kick out of the 06 movie. I thought that was actually kind of fun in a dark way. It wasn't, as good as the original, but it was okay.
It wasn't terrible for sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I kind of want to make a list while people can actually respond, but let's see here. So I did a couple of reviews for our website over some independent horror films. One of them is called Sleigh Bells, and it's about these 3 cosplayer chicks that have huge tracts of land, and they get cornered into this cabin. And Santa Claus is played by Barry Bostwick, and there is also Krampus that has a huge dong. So I really don't know how to go farther with that plot device, but it's worth a watch, and I think it's on Tubi.
It sounds it. Sold.
I remember the plot, but they all get cornered together, and Santa's got to save them. And then it's Barry Bostwick. You're like, what? And there was another one that I did a review for that was on Netflix. There was a anthology, William Shatner,
Okay.
A Christmas Horror Story.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then you have Santa Claus and Krampus fighting at the end.
What did you guys miss the question? Best poop scene in horror? It's obviously from Friday the 13th Part 5.
Damn enchiladas.
Enchiladas. What's up, Luke? Yeah.
Stomach
You know I'm
like that.
evil. Yes, I do not like Black Christmas. I'm sorry. It's overrated big time. What's that one? Red Christmas.
Red Christmas.
Red Christmas Blood.
Is that the one that has Dee Wallace in it?
I don't know that one.
I think it's a newer one.
Sorry, what you were naming off holiday horror?
Yeah, I was just rolling off some random ones that I reviewed for the Syndicate before I give my list of ones that you kind of want to look out for that you haven't
I
seen.
heard you say a Christmas Horror Story.
Yeah. And
I
before that, I said Sleigh Bells
I've never seen Slave. Is that the one? Yeah, I have, but with the girls, right?
with the girls.
It
Yeah,
looks like
the
it's gonna be a lot of boobs
cosplayers.
in it, but there are none. No, Christmas Horror Story is a lot of fun. It's an anthology. And you get Santa versus Zombie Elves. You get Santa versus the Krampus. It's a fun time. Let's see what this Black Christmas from the 70s. Too Old, Good Night. Rare Exports. That's what's another one. I think was that Brian or you that likes that one? Silent
What?
Night, Deadly Night 2, only for Garbage Day. Yeah, Garbage Day.
She said Sleigh Bells was fun. Mrs. Claus is like, oh yeah, our friend Troy did Mrs.
Troy
Claus.
Escamilla did Mrs. Claus. Actually, there's a quote on the back of the DVD that I wrote. So, on Mrs. Claus.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Claus is an indie film. One of the worst movies. Yeah, I can't comment on how good or bad Mrs. Claus is because we know Troy. It's not good. Okay, all through the house segment. Actually, Nathan, you did a couple of good, at least one segment that was Christmassy from Vine's Blood Horror Stories. That was pretty cool. To all good night. Jared, come on, more.
So yeah, I did Sleigh Bells. I did a review on the Syndicate for an independent film called Good Tidings, and it was about a poor what's the word I'm looking for? Like a rescue mission, and they were everything was sad, because they're not going to have a good Christmas, and then all of a sudden 3 crazy Santas come in and fuck their day up.
What was that one that we reviewed? Todd Nunes, I think.
Was that All Through the House?
Was it All Through the House? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was around the same time that Good Tidings came out.
Was it? Okay. Because I know we've done a couple. There's another one. Better Watch Out's a good one. I think Seth said he saw that one.
Which one?
Better Watch Out. Did you see that one?
Yeah, that's a good one. I like it.
Kid?
Yeah.
Kid? Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Fucking hated that kid.
Yeah.
And to add to what Emily was saying, Rare Exports is also a really good one where they actually excavate the tomb of Santa Claus.
That's Better Watch Out. The babysitting with the evil kid. That's for sure. Better Watch Out.
I think that is, yeah.
Ever watched The Children? I've never seen that one. Yeah, it's Better Watch Out, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's a pretty fun movie. Never seen The Children. Nate's seen it, of course. What else you got on your list?
So after Rare Exports, I have a movie called Saint, which is another foreign film that basically just shows Santa Claus being the evil Saint Nicholas.
Yeah, I remember you
December
talked about that.
5th. That's a really good one.
Silent Night, Deadly Night from Luke Hardiman. That's a classic.
Mhm. And I'm going to throw one out there that most people won't think about, but it's the really crazy ass French movie called Inside. It takes
That's a
place on
Christmas
Christmas Eve.
Oh, Nate typed it up too.
Boom, boom, Inside. Takes place on
Seth, have you
Christmas
not
Eve.
seen Krampus?
What's up?
Have you not seen Krampus?
No,
He hasn't.
Dude,
I've seen the ending to it. Amber watched it last year, but it was only available through like my on demand through like FX or something like that. So it was, TV cut with commercials. And
I've heard of that, Emily.
I've never seen To All a Good Night. It sounds like something I have to watch. Inside is crazy. Inside is great. Aside from, was that 2007, I think? Look at that. Oh, excuse me. Let's get close to bedtime, I think. Yeah, I have a whole, not like shelf, but I have a bunch of, I don't know where they are. The Christmas movies on my shelves back behind me, but I can't think of where they are. I haven't watched any of them though this year. Again, I've been kind of he's the man from Brooklyn. Inside is one of the best horror films of the 2000s.
Agreed.
God, I just lost all train of. Oh, I haven't watched any because I've been burnt out on horror, but I would definitely like to watch A Christmas Horror Story again. Gremlins is a Christmas horror movie. I don't know. A lot of people don't think of it as a horror movie, but it is. Seth, Go East. What? Go East, China Krampus.
East China Krampus.
It's 1980s. Came out before Friday the 13th. So it's groundbreaking. Also, Killer Santa. It's by no means a great movie. Most slashers from the 80s aren't great. We kind of make them great in our head. Like even Friday the 13th isn't all that great. All right, there you go. Holiday horrors. Anything else, Jared?
I was actually going to mention Mrs. Claus, but Emily already did that. But other than that, yeah. I just threw out some random ones.
Mrs. Claus is a step up from Party Night. If that's saying anything.
Yes.
What kinds of films do you like to reset your horror palette? Like, what do you mean, like non-horror films? I've been watching a lot of Star Wars lately, and then
if I'm getting it right, I think it's something that you might like your go-to, something that you can just watch.
It's basic stuff. Like my favorite Elm Street movie to watch is the fourth one, Dream Master. I almost said Dream Warriors. Things like that. Return of the Living Dead sometimes. I don't know. Dawn of the Dead definitely, but I don't know. I've been kind of out of it. Although watching some of the giallos lately has helped out a little bit.
That's a good point. Sometimes resetting your palette is just watching something you've never fucking seen before.
Yeah, well, it helps. So, because I like delving into new things. You on again?
If I had to say like a movie that would if I had to use pickled ginger, if I was talking sushi to reset my palate, it's like Night of the Living Dead. Something that's old, that's always a fallback. I could watch it whenever it's on, something like that.
Yeah, there are not a lot of great ones from the 80s. Are you talking about, Nate? All of them are great. I watched Dawn of the Dead over 400 times, but during the pandemic, I watched it about 30 because it seemed timely. Yeah, in a way.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I really like Dawn of the Dead quite a bit. I'm getting tired for some reason. Sorry, guys. My sleep schedule's been so messed up lately. I've been taking afternoon naps, and I didn't take one today because I'm trying to break the cycle of taking naps. So I'm extra tired. Maybe that's why I'm so moody. And then
That's
upgraded in the 80s, yeah. I mean, there are a few, like only a couple, like really kind of spring to mind, and it's Silent Night, Deadly Night, and I think there's three of those that came out in the '80s, and then Gremlins, of course. Christmas Evil, which I finally saw 2 weeks ago when they had that Dial Code M or Dial Code Santa or whatever on Joe Bob, which was a weird ass movie.
Slumber Party.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Sleepaway camps are okay. Slumber Party, man. The only one that I really like is the first one. The second one's not great. I could make a time. Well, we should. Christmas is almost here. We're 3 days out, and an added break for Nathan after it's all said and done.
Yeah, a little breather time.
Yep. Hide and go shriek.
Oh my gosh.
Well, is there anything else you guys want to cover before we peace out for the holiday? Before I pass out from I'm so tired.
No, I mean I don't really watch a lot of horror around this time of year. Usually like October, November, I kind of start to get a little burned out, and
I think October really burned me out this year.
And I go more towards like action and sci-fi, but I have been obsessively watching all the Hellraiser movies recently.
All right. Well, here from
That's not a bad thing.
Last year, December 22nd to Christmas, I watched Anna and the Apocalypse all through the house. Better watch out. And then I didn't watch anything in the 24th, 25th, and 26th. And I watched Midsummer and Hereditary, which are not, horror, holiday horror, but they're damn good movies. And Dan Curtis's Dracula. You guys ever seen that? This was 2019. Serpent in the Rainbow came out. So, yeah, I like Better Watch Out. I thought that was fun. I like Anna and the Apocalypse, but I'm not sure if that's actually a horror movie or not, though. So, happy holidays, man. Yep, stay and booby trap your house. Yes, we sure will. Mine's already booby trapped. I have 2 kids who leave shit everywhere. So, add me on Facebook if y'all. Yep, hit me up. Ray Merrick. My name's Razor on the thing, but it's Marek. I always, I don't always accept horror friends, but when I do, I do. So, Jared just do shit on Facebook, and Seth just bitches about. What was the last thing you bitched about? Oh, what's the website called? We got you covered. What got this covered? We got
this covered.
Yeah, that's it. I always forget what it's actually called, but yeah. He bitches about we got this covered quite a bit.
Oh man, I fucking hate that site, man.
I know, and it's a bad. Is that where you found out about David Gordon Green and The Exorcist? We got this covered.
No, like anyone on my timeline shares something from We Got This Covered, I'm guaranteed not to click on it. I'm gonna keep scrolling, and I will not take you seriously.
Yeah, me, I wouldn't either. Like,
you're
terrible. Alex Ross Vanover, have a Merry Christmas, my friend. Hopefully you get all the Star Wars toys your heart desires for Christmas this year.
Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Wanaka.
I see. Is Silent Night from 2012? Is that one a sequel to Silent Night, Deadly Night? Because I know they made 5 or 6 of them total.
I want to say it's a remake.
I think it's a remake, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Malcolm McDowell. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. They did say Freddy. Yeah, yep. Robert Englund's going to play Freddy again. They report things to get people to click on their links. They just click. Yeah, I mean they have like no engagement. It does work. It does work. Oh, Chris Evans is coming back as Captain America. Okay. No, they're going to do a multiverse thing so they can recast Captain America and Iron Man. That's what they're going to do. You heard it here. They're doing the whole multiverse thing in Marvel to recast certain characters. Tell him.
It's possible. It's a good
Yeah,
theory.
it's happening. It's happening. And then Sony is going to take the Spider-Man 3 movie and move forward with Andrew Garfield in another Spider-Man movie. So he's going to be Sony's Spider-Man. They're seeing that DC's going to be doing this, so they're trying to jump into on it too. Anyway, Buck. Who's Buck? Okay. Luke just verified that that's a remake. Yeah, that's one I keep seeing at the vintage stock, and I meant to buy because I can't remember what it is. So I maybe have to pick that one up, throw it up in the collection. Marek. That's how you spell my last name. It's the coolest last name on earth. Which one, the Toby Hooper classic or the Italian horror one?
Italian.
Anyway, just before we go, I don't know if we're going to come back before the end of the year. Who knows? We weren't supposed to have another episode this year, but it was a fun year doing 50 some odd episodes of the show. We were going twice a week at some points. We had a lot of great guests on. But anything you guys want to say about the year? Oh, that's okay. No, nothing you guys want to say?
No, it's been fun. It's been a good year. Yeah, lots of good stuff has happened this year.
It's been a weird year.
Not for the world.
Yeah. It's been a good year for us, but it's been a weird fucking year. And the fact that we've been able to get together as much as we have, and everybody's been able to stay healthy and all that.
That's the news I want to see. This show was awesome. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Subscribe on YouTube. We accomplished a lot. We went through a lot of movies, did some fun shows. I still say my decade-defining episode was my favorite episode, when we went through each decade and defined which movie was defined that decade. I thought that was a lot of fun. I have to go back and watch because I only remember which, like the 80s movies said that the Friday the 13th defined that entire decade. And Dawn of the Dead maybe for the 70s. I don't quite remember.
See, we could have an episode like that, and we'd have 3 different answers again, Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Jaws for the 70s. It's just
yeah.
There's
a lot more. We're going to talk about The Witch. We're talking about American Werewolf in London. Thank you for subscribing. An American Werewolf in London. There's a few of them we talked about on the offline chat, but we need to make a list because I can't remember what they all are.
The Wolfman remake.
We could just compare the two, even though they're very different, like extremely. What?
The Howling 3.
This is the best one. No snorting from Keith and no ranting from Nate.
no snorting.
What does that mean? No snorting from Keith. Oh, his laugh. His laugh. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Well, I mean, the only bad thing about no ranting from Nathan is that I have to talk more, and I'm not good at talking. I start talking about Star Wars and Marvel, and my Marvel theories. They're going to recast Iron Man and Captain America. Cheaper actors. Anyway, maybe not cheaper, but different. Snorting ranting. Well, Keith, unfortunately, is not going to be with us, as far as I know, for the future. That's okay. We'll make do. Nate will be back to rant and rave about Seth. Seth is always quiet. I had to pry it out of him who he's going to pick between Dracula and Frankenstein, and I still didn't get a straight answer. So he told me he's going to give me a thumbs up, which is the bane of all of the horror brackets.
Cool.
It's just a tough one. That's a tough one, yeah.
It really is, because honestly, you can just switch on viewings.
Yeah,
I feel like Frankenstein's more of a heartfelt movie. Dracula is what it is. Like, to me, that's a horror movie. But Frankenstein, like it gets you in the cockles of your heart.
Yeah. Don't feel guilty, Nate. We enjoy having you on the show. Come on. Steph is quiet. Yep. Is Jared related to Mary Kay?
Oh my lord!
I have no idea, but he's
No.
got beautiful hair.
And if she was, she married into my family.
I love that old school university. Yeah, I needed something for the background. That's why I pulled that up. We're doing a universal bracket right now: Dracula versus Frankenstein. Let us know in the comments which one is going to win. What is oddly enough, when Nate said no snorting from Keith, I'm like, does he snort coke on while we're doing the show? That's where my mind went, not his laughing snort. I'm like, what is he talking about? No ranting or snorting for him. Nate, we'll have more rants coming up. I know we're going to need a good long Nathan rant when we do the witch episode. So, yeah. Keith, he's one. So we have, you see the names at the bottom of the screen. You got that Razor's me, Nathan Thomas Milliner, artist extraordinaire, and professional ranter. He's not with us tonight. He's got a higher call this evening. Then there's Seth, who you can see when he's got the glasses on and the being inside a house, which makes no sense to me unless he's no heat on. And then then Jared's wearing the Kansas State hat. I'm guessing that's what that is.
Yes, Kansas State.
Yeah,
it's cold outside. I wore this all day. My hair's gonna be messed up, so I'm just keeping it on.
You know what? Let's see it. Come on. Let's see it. You're on the big screen. Come on. No?
Yeah. I'll say.
That's funny she dropped the Mary Kay.
Keith is, he was on the show. He's going to go out and do his own thing. If you watch any of our past episodes, he's on there. He's the youngster of the group. Looking forward to a bitch episode. That'll probably just be me by myself because that's all I do is bitch. Bitch.
That would be a fun episode where we fucking rant and rave. His cousin is food.
Oh. Nate's a good guy. Maybe his cousin is too. I don't know. We're coming back early January, I guess. I'm not sure what we're coming back with. I think I promised we're going to do an episode on An American Werewolf in London just for Seth. The good thing about not having Keith here, and I got to be honest here, honesty time, is I won't mistake Seth and Keith's names. So I won't call Seth Keith, and I won't call Keith Seth, which I did a lot. And I had to stop myself many times. That's the only reason that it's a good thing he's not being here. It sucks because he was like 12 years younger than than Seth, I think, right? 12 or 13 years. So he's really young, born in the 90s. We were all born in the 80s or the 70s. Nate is the oldest. But it's all good. And I bitch. Well, what the fuck? And I bitch about other people bitching. That's true. But we both do.
Yes.
I can bitch all day. I can definitely bitch all day. They look so alike. Well, those guys, you know. Nate says he's older than dirt. I don't know about that. Than that dirt. Yes, American Werewolf in London. I think we're coming back on January 5th. I guess we're doing Tuesdays. Nathan, can you confirm January 5th? Because you're the one who mentioned that. I'm dressed as Garth Algar in my profile pic. I don't look like that. You don't look like Garth? What happens when you climb a rope in gym class?
I like to play.
I like to play. We fear change. I've been wanting to watch Wayne's World lately, actually. I probably should scratch that itch.
I actually just got a Blu-ray delivered from Aurora, Illinois. Fun fact. It's a Fulci documentary from Severin.
Oh, nice. We lived right outside of Aurora. So like that, everything you see in that montage when they're playing Bohemian Rhapsody, I seen all that stuff live action. It was awesome.
You're going to spew.
Sure, January 5th when we're all under martial law. That's only swing states.
Oof. Heaven forbid.
You said Bushmouth? Who did? Me? Bushmouth?
He was referring to Emily's comment about American Wolf in Paris.
Well, I missed that. We're
Oh, here we go.
Bushmouth. Yeah, Bushmouth. We'll probably mention that in the show. It's okay. Wow. Uh, I love Wayne's World. I haven't seen it in a while, but I do love it. I showed my son; he's 11. He freaking loved it. So it's almost a timeless movie because even the younger generations can appreciate how good Wayne's World is. Yeah, I understand the song "Mouth." The remix. There's two versions of it too. If you didn't know, and the remix was used in American World from Paris and is much better.
Oh yeah, I agree.
The Stingray. There you go. Remix. Yeah. The
Yep.
shitty Beatles. The Jolly Green Giants. Oh, Nate, are you gonna see? Did you see the 5-minute preview of the Beatles documentary "Get Back" on Disney Plus? If you're a Beatles fan, check it out. It's really freaking cool. I watched it today. Disney Plus. Peter Jackson is putting together a Beatles documentary thing. Looks cool.
He's doing everything he can to get away from bad taste.
Yes, he is. I said that, as a matter of fact. I was like, he needs to stop working on this shit and get his movies out on HD.
Mother of pearl.
I'm fine with it because I love the Beatles.
I need Bad Taste and Meet the Feebles and Dead Alive again on Blu-ray.
The shitty Beatles, they suck. Then it's not just a clever name. There it is.
Yeah.
Thank you. Beatles are. Who's your first favorite band? Who's your favorite band, guys? We're just bullshitting now. I was going to try to keep it to an hour, but whatever. Who cares? My favorite band is the Deftones. The second favorite band is the Stabbing Westward. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I do love the Beatles, but they're not my favorite like old school band. But I do like them. The Cars, ELO, and the Beatles. What?
The
That's
Cars.
born in the ELO. It's just ELO mentioned in ELO. Nate's is garbage. I knew that. Oh, that's right. I knew that.
Yeah, I knew Nate's was garbage.
Yeah. Seth, I don't even know what kind of music you listen to. Alex Ross, Vanover, Hardcore, Avenged Sevenfold.
Avenged Sevenfold. Kind of a younger band. Nice
Seth, come on now. Tell us, what do you listen to in your car? Tony Braxton?
I listen to a lot of different stuff.
Everybody has a favorite band.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough for me, like, because I listen to.
Me and Jared have a song. You know how couples have a song? Me and Jared have a song. Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Come on, you got to have a favorite band.
Well, I listen to a lot of like scores and soundtracks, but probably my favorite bands, if I could list a couple, would probably be like Nine Inch Nails. I like Dimmu Borgir. Like I grew up with Korn.
We all grew up with Korn.
Yeah. I even kind of like Limp Bizkit. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many. I don't know. I listen to a variety of stuff. I don't know.
That's a good song. Who's going to drive you home tonight?
Man.
Did you say what your favorite band is?
I mean, I have like hundreds of bands that I listen to, but the bands I grew up loving were Pantera, early Metallica.
Metallica, yep.
Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, like classic rock stuff. Like the Beatles were always, I could never say they're my favorite band, but they literally have the most singles of any band of all time, I think. And you cannot hate on that. I don't know. Definitely grew up on some Korn.
Yeah, that's the type of the style of music I like too. I mean, but there's a lot. I mean, like if you look through my my MP3s or whatever, it's going to be filled with all kinds of different stuff. I know Jared, when we drove up to Indy the first time, you brought MP3 player with like 1,000 fucking, or no, like 10,000 songs on it.
14,000 songs.
Yeah. So, was it that many for real?
Yes.
Well, I like things like Alice in Chains and
yes.
I like Pantera. Never got into Nine Inch Nails all that much.
Fucking terror.
Yeah, Nate grew up on Corn in the Corn, right?
There it is.
Okay.
Play the game.
You hear that song? That's me and Jared's song. We were totally rocking out to St. Elmo's Fire, Man in Motion, on the way up to Indianapolis the first time we went to Horror Hound together, and it was because we passed the town of St. Elmo's Fire in Illinois. There's a legit town called St. Elmo's Fire, or St. Elmo. And we had to put the song on and we jammed out to it. And every time I hear it, a little tear comes out of my eye because I think of Jared.
Gonna be your man in motion.
It's a good song. It's very uplifting.
All I need is a pair of wheels.
Hello from Australia. Hello from America. What's Roxy Music? I don't know what that is. I love Nirvana.
Nirvana?
The White Stripes I never got into. I love Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper is.
Reverend Horton Heat.
I like a couple of his ones, yeah.
I spit out my drink, goddammit. Why? Because of Man in Motion? Taylor Swift. I saw something about Taylor Swift. I just passed. Taylor Swift just surpassed them, which is sad. I don't know what the Roxy's thing is. It's a band? I have no idea. I'll look it up. I know a lot of music, but sometimes I guess things miss me. Like I remember listening to when Pandora started and iHeart Music started. They had like an 80s hair band. Because I love 80s hair.
I was gonna say, I think Roxy, they're a hair band.
Are they? Yeah, because there's a band called Hanoi Rocks or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
Heard of them. Like, who the fuck is this? Skip. And I never gave them a chance, and then come to find out, they played a song.
Brian Ferry.
You guys like Mushroom Head at all?
I've never heard of Mushroom Head.
Really?
Yep.
They're way better than Slipknot.
I don't like Slipknot.
It's fine.
They're not hair band, Roxy's.
I've actually seen Mushroom Head like 3 times live.
So what is it just called Roxy's?
No, it's Roxy Music.
Roxy Music? There's
Yeah, she's right. It's from the 70s. It's kind of precursed hair metal. I did a quick Google inspection.
Wendy's Baconator is the
Oh my god, Wendy's Baconator will give you a fucking heart attack.
I'll still eat it and die happy.
Nate saw Mushroom Head for free at Horror Hound Weekend, really?
Ooh. Yeah, it would have been in Cincinnati probably because that's where they're from.
So today is a free.
I beat Mushroom Heads, LOL.
Oh, this? Is this what? I don't know if anybody can hear this, but yeah, I know that song. I hear it at work. If I hear something at work, it's a no-go for me. Look, I love 80s hair, like heavy hair metal, I guess. But that's not metal. Not even close. That's like pop music.
It's glam, which can't be confused to hair.
Might get shut down.
Someone's listening.
Well, I don't know. I'll that's the first thing that popped up from them. So, oh, Fleetwood Mac. That's one of my daughter's favorite bands. She's 7. Stop. Sorry. That's literally work when they got real lame. Hey, that you know what? That's making out music from the 80s, I think, right? Would people like get down? Hey, would you want to come over and listen to some records?
I got this new record. That is kind of interesting, though, like hearing people's different musical tastes, because we all obviously like the same kind of horror movies for the most part.
I you know, well, that's two different things. I mean, I think there's kind of like yeah, Fleetwood Mac is incredible, man. My mom, huge fan. I still have her Rumors album, actually the record that she stole. But like, I think people look at horror fans and they put two things together: horror and metal, for some reason.
You need to be a death metal fan.
Right.
If you
I see that, and that's like I'm not even like, dude. I said Tony Braxton earlier. I like Tony Braxton. You know, I like a lot of stuff. I like a lot of R&B. A friend of mine, it was his workout music. It was fucking R&B, like Keith Sweat and shit. Oh man, Seth looks uncomfortable talking about music.
What's up?
You look uncomfortable when we talking about music.
Your friend would work out to Keith Sweat.
Yeah, dude, he worked out to the weird. His mix was like Keith Sweat and
Is this like a lifting mix or like a
yeah,
cardio?
his lifting mix. It was Keith, like Genuine, and yeah, it was weird, man. I think Color Me Bad was on there too. Sex you up, yeah. Brian Eno, huh? I'll have to look more of that up. I'm always into listening to new music. Required
Yes.
horror music.
Thank you so much.
It is.
Thank you so much.
Hey Nate, I got Reynolds a Johnny Cash t-shirt for Christmas because he likes Johnny Cash. Surprise, surprise. I started showing on. There's an album that came out in the early '90s, and it was kind of a live album, but with the song "Delia's Gone." You ever heard that one? Delia's gone, one more round. Delia's gone. Anyway, that was the first thing I was exposed to Johnny Cash, and I started playing it for Reynolds. He thought it was hilarious. I was like, let me play you some real Johnny Cash. So I put on Ring of Fire. He laughed again. So I was like, okay, let me try something different. So I played When the Man Comes Around, and he's like, hey, that's from Dawn of the Dead. And I was like, yeah, the remake of Dawn of the Dead. And I'm like, hell yeah. It's like, I like this. Can we listen to the whole thing? I was like, yeah, let's listen to it. And I started playing other stuff. And he's like, I really like this guy. It's like, cool. So I got him a t-shirt.
I like the song "Hurt."
It hurts really good, yeah. It's definitely better than
Johnny Cash's best song he's ever written. Just kidding.
Led Zeppelin, Doobie Brothers, Oak Ridge Boys. I'm not familiar with the Oak Ridge. I've heard of them, but I'm not familiar with anything they've done. Led Zeppelin's a absolute. Pink Floyd. That's probably my favorite band from the 70s or so. Let's see, that was already came up. Here come the Warm Jets. I'll look that one up.
Yes,
Cash was the man. Yeah, he was the man in black. I want to read his autobiography, Cash on Cash by Johnny Cash.
Well, maybe think about that. Seth was Seven Dust did a cover of "Hurt" when Johnny Cash made it popular, and it was just like right after he died. And then at the end, he goes, "Johnny Cash, yo, Johnny Cash." Like,
Even though it's a Nine Inch Nails song.
even though it's in Trent Reznor's song.
That's why I laugh, because there's a lot of people online who think that Nine Inch Nails was doing the cover of Johnny Cash when it was the opposite.
Yeah, and I was talking to my kids about this the other day, and I appreciate when people create music and create their own thing, but sometimes I think covers are better. Like, I do think that is a better cover than the Nine Inch Nails version. And I was starting to think about songs like that.
I agree totally too.
Well, the song from what is it called? Oh God, I can't. From Donnie Darko. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places.
Yeah.
Mad World.
So that's not there. The Gary Jules, I guess, is the person.
Gary Jules did that version.
Yeah, so that's not his song. That's
Tears for Fears.
Tears for Fears, yeah. But their version is bizarre. It's really fucking weird, and I don't like it. So sometimes covers are better, in my opinion. Also, this one might be painful to hear, but I think Fiona Apple's version of Across the Universe is way better than the Beatles version. That's my opinion.
Going back to her, like, I think even Trent Reznor even said he prefers
awesome.
version.
Can you say again?
Even Trent Reznor said that he prefers Johnny Cash's version.
It's so
Imagine that conversation. Johnny Cash wants to cover my fucking song.
Yeah.
I would let Johnny Cash do anything he wanted to.
Wild.
Yeah, but his rendition of "Hurt" is so fucking powerful. You can feel it, and then watching the video is, It's haunting in ways. I love it. Yes, that was a high fidelity Cash on Cash by Johnny Cash. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. High fidelity. See, Jack Black. Did you see that new movie with Jack Blackcock? That's from something too. I don't remember what. So anyway, I got a friend request from Emily Dunlap, who played Garth Algar in her profile picture. Anything else you guys want to rap about? Yeah, yep. Absolutely, I agree with that 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Buzzcocks and Dead Boys. Yeah, it's amazing. Johnny Cash only lived another 6 months after June passed away, too. The Wipers have a song. I've never heard of the Wipers, I don't think. From River's Edge. That must be another. That's a deep cut. Jared, I just noticed you're wearing a Void shirt. One of Nathan Thomas Miller's favorite movies.
He was not a fan.
No,
Spoiler alert.
you know what? That's fine. I wasn't a fan of Mandy, so he wasn't.
You got back at him for that.
Yeah. So that's all in the past now. We don't have to talk about either one ever again.
That's one of the great things about our discourse. We don't have to all fucking agree on the same fucking thing.
Except for, it was weird when Keith would snort when he laughed. That was weird, right? We can agree on that.
You just kind of got used to it for a while.
Yeah. I'm going to miss busting his chops. And I feel like the reason he left was because of me. Because I was busting his chops all the time. But he's like a kid brother to us, right? It's like, what's up, kid brother? And Nate's son, because then he's old enough, they're young enough to be Nate's son. Yeah, I'm not a big punk guy. I've never been big into punk. Or ska, for that matter. Not that they're the same thing. Just when I hear punk, I think of ska also. I want to listen to music. Like the old days. Just turn the lights off, put on a candle, listen to music, and just let the night go. All right. I don't know. I'm just bullshitting now. Do you guys want to talk about anything else? We've already pushed Nate away. He's gone. I said
he probably actually has to work right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's probably at work right now. Although I know he watched the latest episode of The Mandalorian at work. So.
Oh god. Did you watch that episode, Nate or Seth? God damn it!
Yes, I did.
All
right.
That sex, baby.
All right. You and me. I still don't. I know where this is a horror show, but I am still not ready to deal with that last episode yet.
It was fantastic. I watched it again like the day after I watched it. Like, so I'm trying to get
into the Star Wars talk. This is Rage of Razor.
I wanted to punch the TV for a second, and then I was like, "Oh my god, this is really happening."
Wait a second. Spoiler alert. Throw the spoiler. Oh, I could have had this guy up the whole time. The little Santa Claus guy.
Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah, we should have named. We should do a contest to name our logo. He doesn't have a name. The skull. He doesn't have a name. We should name him something.
We'll name him Keith.
We'll name him. No, I need something a little bit better than that. No offense, Keith. Have a good one, Luke. We'll see you next time, whenever that may be. Maybe next week. Who knows? We'll see if we get a wild hair up our butt like we did today. Well, Seth's the one who got a wild hair up his butt. But he wants to do a show on the Thing movies, which, I'm fine with that. We might have to do that one day. Have we covered the Thing? Like, at all?
I don't believe so.
The Thing is something we could cover alone, but I do want to talk about the Howard Hawks film, and I do want to talk about the 2011 or 2012, whatever year it was, the prequel, because I think it's good in its own right. The Mandalorian Chapter 16 was is this actually happening moment of yeah, it was pretty awesome. Cover your thing.
I asked about the thing because I listened to the audiobook of Who Goes There,
He goes there, yeah.
and then I remembered, there's a line from the movie, from Carpenter's movie, about being the first goddamn week of winter, and this is technically the first goddamn week of winter. So
Yeah, Nate's still talking about Star Wars here. He was numb. I got to be honest with you. I said I'm not going to talk Star Wars with anybody, but I will say that as soon as I saw the X-wing pull up, I started crying uncontrollably, and it didn't stop for the rest of the episode. So, and I was ugly crying too, and it was
Ugly crying.
I was like, that's whenever people are calling people's names out with a cry, like, oh, I was like, Luke, like that. It was just ugly. I'm glad I was alone.
yeah, I didn't get to see that episode until Saturday, but I knew what was going to happen because people were talking about it online, and I think someone on your post, Ray, put just saying and had a picture of Luke holding.
What's funny is I hid that comment because as soon as I saw it, I was like, I hid, and then as soon as I saw everybody talking about it, I unhid it. Yeah, like, okay, everybody's seen it. So yeah.
Well, I mean, spoilers don't bother me too much.
No, obviously not, Mr. I read Halloween Kills script already.
Yeah. And, when The Force Awakens came out, the day before, I spent the whole day looking up fucking spoilers. So I knew Han Solo was going to die.
I didn't, but I told you the story about the guy who got escorted out of the theater.
Yeah.
Because he was telling people that Han Solo, he got killed, and he was saying it's like screaming at the top of his lungs past the long lines, and I was in the line, and it's like, motherfucker. Got to see the movie for free though. So yeah, that was some bullshit. My reaction after I watched that scene with Luke 2 or 3 times, and I kept thinking to myself, I can't wait to see my son's reaction to this. And he was watching, he looks over at me and just smiles like I did. Like, he was very, very happy because he was devastated with the way The Last Jedi turned out. So
yeah, well, that's a great thing too, is even though I knew that was Luke, I knew that was going to happen. I was still excited by that scene. It gave me that same feeling as when I saw Vader at the end of Rogue One.
it was a very similar scene. Right. It's just like as George Lucas says, like poetry.
You see your kid smiling, and that's the smile you have on your face. You have that little kid smile all over again. It was great seeing his reaction, and within minutes of that, he was upstairs with his lightsaber, swinging it around, and he had a cape on and everything. And he's 11. 11-year-olds don't do that shit. 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds do that. He was up there playing that like he was Luke again, and Luke was always his favorite character. That's why probably part of the reason I hate The Last Jedi so much is because it broke my son's heart. And seeing his faith in Star Wars a little restored by the Mandalorian, because seriously, he was not in it for the Rise of Skywalker or Solo or anything, but this kind of, I think, restored his faith in Star Wars and Luke Skywalker. So it was good.
Yeah, well, because prior to this episode of Mandalorian, we never really saw full-on Jedi Master Luke in action. You know what I mean? Because the original trilogy is him learning, training to become the Jedi Master. Mm-hmm. When we see him in The Last Jedi, he's a bitter old fuck who's just given up on everything.
Yeah.
So we never got to see that badass side of him. So it was really fun seeing that.
Ugh, yeah. That's not the only... Luckily, The Last Jedi wasn't spoiled for me, but I'll never forget that moment. Elizabeth and I were standing in line when that fucker came through. Han Solo dies! He does, believe me! His son stabs him. Like, oh God, who's his son? It's like, who's his son? Because we didn't know that either. And they're like, Kylo Ren's his son! It's like, son of a bitch! It's like, God damn it. Yeah. When Luke faded away and became one with the Force at the end of The Last Jedi, Reynolds looked at me and said, "Can we leave?" We went home, and we had the poster. It was an exclusive poster from Star Wars Celebration that year. Reynolds ripped it off the wall without even saying it. He walked over, looked at it, just ripped it down. He was destroyed. He loved Luke. Luke, out of all the characters in Star Wars, was his favorite. and to see that, I mean, it's. I mean, he's a kid. These movies were made for kids, right? Made for everybody. I'd rather see Jar Jar Binks than see Luke die. Actually, I've got to be honest. I never had a problem with Jar Jar Binks. So
Most people did, but I mean, he's Misa stupid.
He's like Jar Jar Binks. Oh man, I bought a one of these full of popcorn, for the Last Jedi, and I remember drop kicking it in the parking lot. So I've never been mad at a Star Wars movie until I saw that, and it wasn't just Luke. I don't want to talk about it. I do not want to talk about it.
That's for another day.
It's not. No, it's for never. I'm never going to talk about it anymore because I'm not going to talk about Star Wars anymore with anybody. I'm going to keep my fandom to myself. I can't do it. I'm sick and tired of seeing what I'm seeing online, so I'm just trying to keep it all to myself.
So
Yeah.
how do you feel about Canto Bite?
What?
How do you feel about the Canto Bite scene?
That was a waste of time. That was just a waste of time.
He does not like that whole scene at all.
No, that was just a huge waste of time. That was a way to put Finn and Rose in the scene. I mean, there's a lot of you guys got to stop me.
I like that, Nathan. I like that. I don't have, kids, I have kids that I can watch with, but it's just watching them see it through different eyes and then their, reactions. That awesome.
Was Reynolds' first opening night for Star Wars, and that's what he got treated with.
That's tough.
That was his first, yeah. So he saw The Force Awakens. That was after I saw it before, so it was days after it had come out. He saw Rogue One days after.
I gotta get something to eat. Are we gonna wrap this up soon?
He saw The Last Jedi as his first. He was so excited. It's like, we're finally gonna see Luke. And I mean, the look on his face when Luke tossed that lightsaber, he's like, "Why'd you do that?" I'm like, I don't fucking know. It's just that look from Poe at the beginning of the movie. Anyway. So anyway, we got to come up with a schedule for next season. I'm calling it season 2, not just 2021. I definitely, if Nate's okay with it, I don't think Jared really cares. We'll start off with An American Werewolf in London, which I'm actually looking forward to watching again. That Arrow Blu-ray that we've got, you got it too, don't you? There's so many awesome special features to dig into on that. So I'm really looking forward to I think some of them are on the regular Blu-ray release too. I noticed something. I've been watching a lot of YouTubers. They move their mic a lot, and I do it too. I'm constantly moving this thing around. Excuse me. But that's going to be fun. And I know, Nate, we talked about doing The Witch, which I'd like to kind of get into because I like that movie, and a lot of people hate it. There's a lot of stuff that we still got to get to. I'd like to talk about Cabin Fever.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind talking about that. I haven't really seen the sequels or the remakes. We didn't talk about, oh God, I just had the name of the movie in my head. This Spelunking movie with, The Descent. Yeah, that's a good movie. That's a badass movie. So there's a lot of good stuff that we kind of missed over the course of the year, but we also got kind of sidetracked and I think we're going to do a few commentaries here and there like we did last year, which I like. I like doing those. They're lazy shows, but it's just like Nate was saying. That's like hanging out with your friends watching a movie. When you can't be together, you can do it online.
It'd be really fun to do Return of the Living Dead with that.
Oh, I agree. We'll have to make a schedule. Maybe we'll do that after Christmas. Oh, that's awesome. I just got sent this. A friend of mine's making some chibi characters of my comic characters. Pretty awesome. Which is one? Yeah, I am too. I need to really watch that one. I'm not sure if my Blu-ray has many like extra features or not.
I still haven't watched that. Like, I bought it last summer, and I was waiting for us to do a show on it.
Well, now we're going to. No, there's an audio commentary, a Salem Q&A, and then The Witch, a Primal Folklore. I mean, I just got a basic Blu-ray of it. So,
Yeah.
hey, Merry Christmas, Matt. Matt is a guy that goes to Horror Hunt. I've seen him there before. So, yeah, we'll do that. You know, the Blair Witch Project is something I've always wanted to cover also. I like witches, apparently.
What about part 2?
What's that? Book
Blair
of
Witch.
Shadows?
Book of Shadows. That's such. Everybody hates that movie, but I don't think it's fucking shitty.
I love it. The theater's open.
It's underrated.
It's extremely underrated. And then we've got the 2016 Blair Witch movie also, which I don't mind. There's a lot to discuss. Nate, we'll see you. Looking forward to getting back to the regular show.
Yes.
But yeah, I think we're going to leave it here. We'll chat a little bit offline. I want to thank everybody for watching us throughout 2020. Hopefully, we didn't lose anybody in the bad way. If you don't want to watch anymore, that's your own business. But hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up or thumbs down. Either way, it still helps us get around the internet. So you can hit a thumbs down if you like, but the joke's on you. It's still going to bump us up. So, but hit the subscribe button, please. We're going to try to get to 1,000 by the middle of next year. If we don't do that, then maybe I'll just shut the Horror Syndicate down. Anyway, you guys have anything else you want to say before we go?
Other than it's been a great year.
Alex.
Like Alex says, it's been a great year.
Yeah.
For as shitty as it's been, we doubled up on episodes because, what else are we going to fucking do? You don't want to go out and submit yourself to the shit that's going on outside.
Yep.
So what better to do than have a fun conversation with like-minded individuals?
Absolutely. Seth, anything?
No. Fuck off.
Here comes 2021.
You will send off from Seth. All right, everybody. If we don't see you before New Year's Eve, have a good New Year's. Have a happy Christmas. Have a happy lunch. We'll see you next time.